Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming back to USC too.
They're amazing.
So first, a couple of questions about USC. Can you tell the people here what you majored in and how you fit creating, I think, a couple of albums together here?
Yeah. What did I study? Okay, well, I came undeclared, and I was thinking maybe I would go into musical things. And I took an intro to music theory and an intro to music industry. And both of them are amazing programs here. But I learned that I didn't want to learn about music, I just wanted to do it in stairwells. And so the music classes ended, although I kept strong ties within Thornton and did a lot of cool things with them. But I went off to study social sciences and psychology, which was something that was just very interesting to me to learn about people. Meanwhile, when I wasn't studying or procrastinating, I was, doing a lot of music, and I was very lucky. I think it was my sophomore year that the music program, they had something called Thornton Protege Program, and the music industry students basically sought out an artist and said, "We will make your first album." And so that's how I first was introduced into, really recording your stuff and making a CD. And so for me, it was really huge.
I think it was a year after, is it, USC that you had that first real big break with the Doritos Super Bowl contest and winning that. I wonder if you say something about kind of that transition from doing something here at USC and then suddenly breaking out into a much bigger audience.
Well, it wasn't immediate. There was a 6-month lull post-graduation where I moved to Austin, Texas, and I was doing music there. It was awesome, but I was mostly just sitting in a room by myself writing songs again. And so I entered the contest, and the winner got a major label record deal, and I got the music video played during the Super Bowl. So very high stakes. And in order to win, you had to get daily votes it ended up going for 2 months. And that's when I started YouTube, as a way to thank people, because I was annoyingly asking them every day to vote for me. It was like, I'm going to put up a new video every day for as long as I'm in a contest. And, of course, winning and being played during the Super Bowl and winning the label thing, those were huge, but I think the most important thing that came out of it was realizing how powerful the internet was, and realizing that there were people out there in the world that wanted to discover people and wanted to support people that they believed in, and to me that was like the most powerful thing.
So in terms of kind of innovation and doing something really interesting in the music industry, I think your focus on YouTube and using that medium for not just your songs, but I think some of your covers are really popular as well, and then some of these collaborations with, ultimately, right, with Voice Avenue, all these different other YouTube kind of groups. Tell me a little bit about like innovation in YouTube and doing something kind of interesting, and maybe in particular, I think that's that co-write with Kina movement. I think that was a really innovative thing that maybe only could have been done in a YouTube age, and I wonder if you could talk about that.
Yes. So YouTube, there are so many things you can do there, and at the beginning of my time on YouTube, it started with just simple interactions in the form of these shout-outs that I do at the end of my videos. So people would email me and they'd request a shout-out, and at the end of the videos, I'd do like these weird little ways to display, saying hi to all the people that wanted it. So that was like the very beginning of like, oh, we can have a relationship and we can interact and stuff like that. The co-write with Kina was an interesting one where I basically wrote a melody to a song and a guitar part to a song. And then I broke it up into, I think, 4 or 5 segments where I opened it up to YouTube and said, someone gets to write the first verse, someone gets to write the chorus, someone gets to write the second verse and the bridge, and so on. And then YouTube, all these people got to vote on which one they wanted to win. So at the end, we kind of glued them all together, and I recorded a version that was really the song that was created by everyone that was listening, which is really cool.
It's really, I mean, the whole not taking the label route, but going kind of independent and doing it through YouTube, I think that's a really gutsy move to make, but you've been very successful also with just, even like Valentine, the song you played for us earlier, there's like like several million hits on people who've covered you on Valentine. Do you have a favorite out there? Somebody who's done a cover of yours, a song of yours that's been kind of unique or interesting?
It's really hard. There are so many good ones. Sometimes I will just go online and search like Kina cover and just be astounded. These people know my song and they wanted to put it online. So I don't think I could do a favorite. I have a lot of friend YouTubers that have done it, which is always really cool for me to see. But I think any cover is just, it's like so meaningful to see that.
I think among the people that have covered you, there's a lot of people, like, for some reason there's a lot of Asian American people who seem to like to do YouTube covers. And I wonder if you could say something about, do you have like networks of, or is it just your friends, or how does that work out there?
I think what it is that in the mainstream media, they really haven't let all that many Asian Americans in, in music or acting or any of these things. It's not that common. And so I think what people are finding is that if they go online, they can go around mainstream media and they can find actors and musicians that they like, regardless of who's saying, like, this is what's cool and stamping it, So I think in that way, Asian Americans have found YouTube as a place where they know they can go and see people they want to see. So there's definitely a very strong Asian, not even Asian American, just Asian base on YouTube that.
Last thing on innovation, I feel like one of the other really big things just in the last year or so is the kind of stop motion animation and jelly bean art video. I wonder if you could tell everybody a little bit about the making of that.
Yes. So for those of you that don't know, I have this music video called In Your Arms, and it is a stop motion animation video made out of almost 250,000 jelly beans. And it was slightly ambitious going into it. The director was like, all right, this one's gonna take some time. And I was like, well, how long? And he's like 3 months. And I was like, oh, that's a really long time for a music video. And then it ended up taking 22 months. So it was fun. But everyone that worked on it donated their time, and our budget was super small, and everyone was just amazing. So it was an insane process. At times, I thought I might lose my mind, but we finished it, and it was, definitely worth it. It's something that we all are so proud of.
So these great kind of ripple effect things, and maybe my last question to you is, I think one of the really important causes for you personally has been around cancer research, and I know you had a running aspect to it, but also on YouTube itself, and going out and using that medium to kind of raise awareness and kind of raise money for that. I wonder if you could talk about that finally.
Yes, so my most recent project is called Run Team Kina, and I started it last year. It's kind of a two-pronged project. On the one hand is just inviting anyone out there in the world to come along with me to try to better ourselves and get healthy, and last year was running races in particular, but just any way to better ourselves. And the other side was to raise money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And my mom was diagnosed with blood cancer when I was in high school, so it's always been a cause that's been very close to my heart. So, sorry, get a little. So last year our goal was to raise $50,000 in order to fund a cancer research grant. And at the end of the year we ended up raising almost $72,000 for cancer research.
Thank you so much for sharing. Everybody, Kina Grannis. I'm going to ask all of our artists to come out, and we'll take a few minutes to go through some questions that some students